Good day, crafty chums, it's Nikki here, and coming at you today with a video that I made with Eileen McInnes on a live stream on the International Crafters YouTube channel. And so I thought I would extract my part of that live stream and just put it together in a fast forward video for you. There will be parts of obviously the making of the Big Bad Wolf. Because of course the camera flicks in between Eileen and myself, and I'm just extracting my parts of it, so you know it will jump in places, so I apologise for that. I don't have anything to independently record whilst I'm doing the live stream, so this is what you got. The inspiration for the live stream actually came from a tragedy, really, in my family. I'd lost two family members over that weekend, both to cancer, and so Eileen said, well, you know, why don't you art it out? So I thought, yeah, you know, it's helped me in the past get over tragedies that you can't explain or have had a big impact on your things like that. So as I was saying in the live stream, is that there isn't one single one of us that hasn't been touched in our lives some way or another by cancer. You know, we will have known someone really close, or we'll have had friends, or we'll have had family members that aren't close, or we'll have known people that we've worked with or come across in our lives that have had cancer. It's really is the big bad wolf. And I know people call it the big C and everything else, you know, but it's scary. Little Red Riding Hood and her big bad wolf. She overcame it, and so I hope that that many people in the future will overcome cancer as well. It's in this rendition of the Big Bad Wolf. There are certain parts of this you may not understand, you know, the symbolism of it, really. But if I tell you that I chose Little Red Riding Hood because I think of cancer as, you know, the Big Bad Wolf. Anything that's horrible in our lives, I always refer to it as the Big Bad Wolf. So, you know, Little Red Riding Hood obviously came to mind for one. Sorry. So I'm doing this on watercolour paper, and as you can see, I'm sketching out Little Red first and the Big Bad Wolf as well. And I chose her to... I wasn't conscious of this as I started the actual drawing, because I was just drawing her out, and then it suddenly occurred to me that I was sort of portraying Little Red as a Madonna, with the big bad as her little babe there. I think that my Little Red here has tamed her big bad wolf, and he's actually become a pet. So there are certain things as I go through. I'll just explain here that when I do watercolour, I like to put in the shadows first, and I usually do that with a blue or purple. Sometimes I'll choose green, it just depends how funky I'm feeling at the time. But this time I chose shadows in blue. I'm using the Caran d'Ache Neo Colour 2s, because they are actually my favourite things to watercolour with. At the moment, it might change in future, but hey ho. So yeah, so I'm thinking that as I'm explaining, there are certain parts. I didn't realise I talk so much with my hands. You'll see that a lot in this video. As I was playing it back, I was thinking, oh my goodness, I talk with my hands. I never realised. I was explaining during the live stream that I've had one friend who's been through breast cancer, and she won't mind me sharing this, I'm sure. And I won't name her, obviously. But while she was going through cancer, she visualised the Death Star. The cancer is a Death Star, and the old the Millennium Falcon, etc., destroying the Death Star, and which was her cancer, and she came through it, and she found that Star Wars visualization helped her. So for me, this was a visualization of Cancer's Big Bad Wolf and Little Red taming the Big Bad Wolf. So that's how it came, and she's actually the Big Bad Wolf is at her breast, and I've drawn her a little bit as the Madonna, and you'll see as I finish off the actual as the finished drawing, your painting you'll see at the end will be sort of Madonna-like ish. So in watercolor you go light to dark, and as this goes through I'll just be working on making the parts of the painting darker and darker as I go along. As you can see, I'm sort of like drawing that aura, that corona around her in yellow, and then darker at the edges, which I chose to do in green. I didn't have time in this live stream to finish off the painting, but I did finish it off, and I actually finished it off camera, and I should have finished it off on camera really after the stream. When I finished it off, I should have actually recorded it, but I didn't. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, didn't, as Judge Judy likes to say. So I put on some photographs at the end for you to see the finished Little Red and the Big Bad. And yeah, I could explain to you here that I'm using obviously the watercolors. I use Graphite Tint pencils from Derwent. I also use the Stabilo All. I've also used some acrylic red because I wanted the I don't have a really dark red in watercolor at the moment, so I chose to use a red acrylic paint, which as I opened it up upside down just poured straight out all over me. So you'll also see a change of clothes through this video as well, because I did have to switch over to Eileen again after I'd opened the acrylic paints and poured it all over myself. I did have to go and change and immediately put my top into water with some special soak in there to try and get the acrylic paint off it, which is just by the by, but it was something that happened during the live stream. It's live, things happen. And yeah, so I'm waffling now because I'm trying to as you see, that Stabilo All is really a jet black. I don't know what it's called. I forget it's, but it's really a really black. I also try to make the wolf's eyes. I actually, on purpose, made them sort of like look like human eyes. And I did that to try and, in the end, the Big Bad Wolf is subdued by Little Red Riding Hood, and in my mind that came out as he's subdued from being big bad into like something that was almost human-like in the end. As I said, sorry, just sip of water there. As I said, the analogy that I went through wasn't so obvious to me as I was doing the painting, but looking on it now is that I can see where my mind was going as I was doing it. I don't think I verbalized it very well. I may have done in the live stream. I haven't listened to it playback. And yeah, see, look, change of clothes. So annoyed. It was my favourite top that I opened up the acrylic paint onto myself. Oh dear. Hey ho. So I'm working on the eyes, putting in some extra work with this Stabilo All just to darken things up, putting the pupils, etc., etc. As you see, there was a big jump in that there from when I went back to it. Oh, look, explaining with my hands, look, talking. It's a live stream, so there is, when you're answering questions from people during the live stream, Of course, it's very difficult to talk and to paint as well, but I'm giving it my best there, talking with my hands again. Oh, I have no idea what I was explaining. None at all. But you'll also see the Posca pens at the side. I did start to do some outlining in red with the Posca pen, but gave it up as a bad job because it didn't really go. But, I gave it a good effort. Good effort, Nikki. Yeah, you can see I'm just darkening down the pupils now. And as I say, if you see me drawing, then that's with the Graphitint pencils from Derwent. I really like them. They're quite nice for details around the eyes and things like that. She's beginning to pop now, isn't she? Pop, 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 pop. I think I'm working on the hair again. Yeah. Just working on the hair with this Stabilo wall, explaining something, which I have no idea what I was explaining. Getting comfy again. I've got a new chair my hubby bought me for Christmas. Bought me a lot of things for Christmas. The new chair was amongst them. So there we've just done another little jump, and I'm going to my white Posca for highlights. I do like to use the white Posca for highlights, especially around the eyes. Really, you can make them really look dewy wet and quite nice by using the white Posca around there. I'm probably explaining that too, but I don't know. I could be talking out of certain other holes in my body, but hey ho. I wonder how many of you are actually listening to this all the way through. Sometimes I throw in a little rude thing there to see if you're all awake. Hi Ginny, if you're watching. I know you often watch all the way through, so thanks for watching, Ginny. I don't think there's anyone in my closet today. Or there may have been. I actually think oh yeah, I know what I'm doing there. I'm actually, I know I don't know what I'm doing. I've no idea what that hand movement was. Very funny. So this is the Graphitint pencil that I was talking about that was in my right hand there. And now in my left hand is my Posca. I must be going to use it. Yeah, giving it a shake. It's my Posca. Again. And I'm highlighting on the light side of the little red. Imagining the lights coming from the left hand side there. So in real left or on our right as we look into it, or bottom of the screen actually as we're looking at it. Sideways angle. I've actually changed my camera now back to above. I've MacGyvered a little stand for my webcam, so I'm hoping now that back over the top you'll get a good view. Hopefully. Still putting in some highlights there. Touching and talking. And here we are back again, and she's working a little bit more on the wolf. The Stabilo did a great big black bit under his eye, but hey ho, doesn't matter. You won't see it in the end anyway, because I do a lot of work with the Posca pens. So, but you don't actually get to see that on screen. It's a one that's done afterwards. Give him a nice great big black nose. Looks so cuddly there, doesn't he? He's been tamed. He's been domesticated. Domesticated wolf. Just darkening down on the inside of the ears there. probably explains people I've still got lots of tutting around to do after the live stream is finished. Because I think we're coming towards the end of the actual live stream now, and I'm running out of time. I've still got several hours work to do on this one. I think it was another 2 hours after I finished the live stream that I worked on it. So I think basically this was a 4-hour painting. I do like the water brushes, the water barrel brushes to work on. I don't know why. See, I put more texture into his fur there, and I actually add even more there. I'm using my hand as a palette as well, if you could see that, just to make sure that I get a really nice light grey to work around her eyes, to put in some shadow around her eyes. The old little wolf's paw on her forehead. Darken down the ones. I think she looks a bit like Lady Penelope as well, but hey-oh. Madonna, Lady Penelope with black hair. Anywho, up to you, I don't know. So I've showed you this like that. That was the end of the live stream there, and some pictures are to follow. I want to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the making of this painting and put up with my babble. And hope to see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.